Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, Paul Manafort and Roger Stone. And Corey Lewandowski. Apparently, Team Trump is trying to recreate 2016, and they're hiring Trump's former campaign managers and strategists and provocateurs for this latest go-around. Just wow. I mean, Manafort has been shown to have connections to Russian intelligence. Konstantin Kalimnik, I believe, was the fellow's name. That was his little Russian buddy that works with the intelligence agencies. Convicted of felonies, sentenced to prison, and then Trump pardons him. Roger Stone, convicted of felonies and obstruction of justice. Trump commutes his sentence. Only the best people, right? Only the finest people, finest, best people. Lewandowski, he was kicked off of some campaign for harassing somebody else's wife. Is that Katie Nome? Or Christy Nome? Jeez. Party of Family Values. Tell me about those values again. I'm curious. Just the contradiction. It's like, do you even look? Do you even try? It's too much. What is going on in Crazy Town with Trump, with the news that his campaign is looking at Lewandowski and Paul Manafort and Roger Stone? What's going on, Spear? What can you tell us about this? It's they got the dream team back. All the folks that got him in there before, they may not be getting as much support from Russia as they were before. Part of this, you know what Trump likes about Paul Manafort? He works for free. All three, at least Manafort and Roger Stone. Trump has done him favors, so now they owe him stuff. And they don't mind getting their hands dirty, win at all costs type of strategies. And Trump is desperate. He is absolutely desperate to get reelected. This is part of a bigger plan. They haven't been hired yet. They're interviewing them, or they're planning on bringing him back in. But it's absolutely a progression. This is your dream team too, to get Trump in there and have a self coup. Because if Trump gets in, he's not leaving. He just isn't. That's not going to happen. And that's it's a word of warning. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's scary. A word of warning: get out and vote. Get like-minded people registered to vote, and make sure they go out and vote too. Vote early by mail if you need to. Get those ballots. Drive those friends to the drop boxes. Make sure they get their ballots dropped off. If you can vote blue down the ticket, vote blue down the ticket. Unless the person you're voting for on the Democratic side is so thoroughly corrupt, like Senator Bob Menendez, that you can't in good conscience do it. But do what you can. We've got to win this election to maintain and preserve our republic and our democracy. But no, this is part of a plan by Trump. It's like he's retreating. He's regressing. Trump is regressing. I normally look at the hermit as trying to find a path forward. And he is trying to find a path forward. But he's actually regressing into the darkest holes where all the darkest trolls live. This is not a move forward. This is a move backwards. But here's the thing. What worked for Trump back in 2015, 2016, I don't think it's going to work now. People have seen what happened. They gave Trump 4 years. And some people were thrilled to death. Some people were wildly disappointed. And just bringing back again the dream team here doesn't mean you're going to get the same results, because everything's changed in the last 7 to 8 years. In the past, the Knight of Cups. Yeah, this is the mercenary, the false friend. I did some stuff for you. Now it's your time to do stuff for me. Now, usually the Knight of Pentacles is the mercenary, but this is the false friend. This is these are the guys that they're toxic. They will do anything to deliver with what you're asking, but they come with a price too. Now, again, Trump bailed out their bacon with the last one. But yeah, they're looking for more. Now, I will say though, that Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, you going into this, I mean, it's a matter of time before we hear about Michael Flynn going in here too. You're going into this, you're getting ready to expose yourself again to criminal prosecution. And if we have our way, Trump will not be the president and will not be able to pardon you this next time around. Yeah, they're trying to manifest stuff. It's, Roger Stone's a dirty trickster. Manafort had connections in Russia. They're trying to figure out a way to manifest a win in this election. I know whatever the poll numbers are, their polling probably shows that they're not doing enough. So we now need to figure out ways to suppress the vote. We need to figure out ways to cheat, steal, psyops campaigns, kind of, the whole Cambridge Analytica type thing. They need to pull out all the stops, and he knows these people are willing to pull out all the stops. Yeah. Because they can't win on a straight up election. So he's putting, again, this is like Batman's villains. This is like having the Joker and the Penguin and the Riddler and Catwoman all in the same room together, trying to figure out a way to defeat Batman that none of them could do individually, but maybe all of them teaming up together could make a difference. But yes, this is absolutely to steal that election. Win the election by any means necessary. The lesson to be learned from this is judgment. Again, Trump is calling his minions to his side. This really is it for Donald Trump. This is his last hurrah. If he does not pull this off, he's done and dusted. And this movement is going to be done and dusted. And the point of this reading is also to sound the alarm, get people motivated. I realize you're tired, you're exhausted, but you've got to make it to November. You've got to get out and vote. You've got to get your like-minded friends out and vote. And we really have to send a message to Washington that we will not tolerate this type of behavior. We want our democracy. Outcome is going to be the Justice card. That is not your friend. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. Hermit, Magician, Judgment, and Justice. This is not, he can bring these people in. And I was saying, when they bring these people in, what they're running the risk of is more criminal exposure. If these people come on board, they will break laws. They will be held to account for it. So, as alarming as it is, and it is alarming, understand that there's no honor amongst thieves, and they will cheat and they will break the law every chance they can get. But since there's no honor amongst thieves, when the investigations happen, and the investigations can happen while the campaign is going on, they will turn on each other because there's no honor. There's just preservation. So while they may come up with great ideas on how to steal the election, they will have to find people to do and implement these quote-unquote great ideas. Heck, they might have to do it themselves if they can't trust the people that are out there. The network isn't there. Trump is so disruptive. He has really disrupted the network. And what I'm talking about is, like, look at the House of Representatives right now. The Republicans are fractured as a party. They're not lined up. In 2016, you had Russia funneling money through the NRA and funneling that money to candidates. So there was a lot of financial control there. It's a carrot. The Republican National Committee email servers were hacked. And that was the stick. You fell out of line. You got hit. Your emails were going to be exposed. Your secret's going to be exposed, and you would be humiliated. Maybe have to resign, or you could play ball and get NRA money, and then you get the carrot. All to advance Putin's agenda. That doesn't mean Democrats weren't targeted as well. Certainly, the Democratic server was hacked, and some emails were released and caused the head of the DNC, if I'm not mistaken, to resign. And maybe not all those emails were released. So you can imagine that there are some Dems that are under Putin's influence too. It just seems that more Republicans are under it, and they don't really hide their allegiance. Maybe they have to make their allegiance a bit more public to satisfy their handlers. All right. What type of shenanigans will Roger Stone and Paul Manafort get up to with Donald Trump? Corey Lewandowski too. But what kind of shenanigans are they looking at getting into here that they're being considered to be brought back to the Trump campaign? Let's see what we got. Queen of Pentacles. The first thought that came to mind is when you look at the demographics, the things that the Republicans need to win this election are the suburban moms. So you have to come up with ways to influence suburban moms to come back to the Trump campaign. But when you're dealing with dirty tricksters, you also have to... Republicans work off of fear, so you have to scare moms. You have to, the best way to scare them is talk about threats to their children. Whether it's the vaccine's going to kill your children, immigrants are here to kidnap your children and bring them to the sex trades, or the Democrats, the liberals are going to make your child gay. Whatever it is, they would work that way. I think the other thing that Manafort and Lewandowski and Roger Stone bring are they look for practical ways, simple practical ways to cheat. So you got two things here, finding use for things, as well as hitting a target audience. Crossed with the Drunken Hillbilly Brawl card. They're chaos agents through and through. So they are going to try and raise the temperature. Oh, okay, duh. What's the biggest women's issue going on right now, David? Women's reproductive rights. Okay. So, and I guess that's the other reason. What they're going to do? They are going to actually try to suppress the vote of suburban housewives. They're not trying to lure them in. They're trying to scare them away. Playing on their fears and their emotions. See, this is why I'm not so good at these readings. Because I don't think that way. It doesn't even occur to me to think that way. So, sorry if I come across as a bit of a dim bulb sometimes. You're looking at this like, dude, I saw that 20 minutes ago. I'm glad you finally worked your way around to it. Sorry? I get there eventually. Yeah, no, they're going to do everything they can to disrupt suburban moms from voting, because they know that is a key demographic that they cannot land. And that's the main reason why they're going to lose this election. So when voter suppression is your main tool, your main weapon, everybody out there, get out there and suppress suburban women voters. Suppress the mom vote, because they're not voting for Trump. They're voting for, they're going to vote for Biden. I keep forgetting hidden in this card, right down here, is a little brown bunny. Reminds me of chocolate bunnies, which reminds me of Easter. I would expect some messaging coming out maybe on Easter Sunday about this, which is what, March 31st. So we've got a week away before that. Really going on their passions. I don't think Katie Britt's going to deliver the message, if you know what I mean. I can't even imitate her. I'm really good at imitating people. I can't imitate her. Ugh. What's the question is, what are they up to? What's going to be their strategy? So in the past, it's self-inflicted wounds, basically. The Supreme Court passing, now here's your 9 Supreme Court justices, 6-3, getting rid of Roe v. Wade, letting the states institute abortion bans. And now we got the whole IVF thing going on. They are inflicting wounds on themselves, alienating themselves from suburban women and the people that love them. So they need to cause mayhem with that demographic. They're going to go forward. Okay, mercenaries here. This is your mercenary card. So I can put that out of cups. This is the mercenary card. They're going to try and weaponize certain groups. I don't know if they're going to... The evangelicals seem like the most likely group to go for, but I think they're going to spend money on advertising with this, trying to target, basically trying to depress the vote of these women. How are they going to do that? I'm curious. They're going to target family and generations. How democratic policies have ruined people over the generations, need to go back to good, wholesome family values. That's ridiculous, because Donald Trump is anything but that. They'll probably spend a lot of money on this too. There's money and there's values. Monies and values. Again, trying to cause fear with women. Page of Swords. Lesson to be learned. They'll lie. They will lie. It doesn't matter. They don't have to tell the truth. They don't want to tell the truth. Why tell the truth when a lie will do? Their go-to against the Democrats has always been sex trafficking. I don't know if they'll target that or not. They like to play up the border as an issue. We need border protection. But, yeah, whatever they're going to do, they're not going to be telling lies. Now, it may not be super effective, because the Page of Swords is kind of a rookie thing here. They may not be very effective at what they're doing, but that's what they're going to do. It's not going to work. They're going to try, basically say, the United States is going down. Don't elect, if Donald Trump's not in there, he's not in there. Okay. The other thing. I'll get to the in a second. It's not going to work. Why isn't it going to work? Here we go. Let's roll this. Let's roll the tape. Moms make sure their children are healthy. Eat well, exercise, eat your vegetables, that sort of thing. But for somebody who doesn't take very good care of his health and is under a lot of stress and strain, like say Donald Trump, for instance. They're going to work on this messaging, but Trump has not been taking care of himself. He's under a lot of stress and strain. He's got court cases coming. He's got the Stormy Daniels case coming up. It's like, Lord knows what other investigations are coming on. He has judgments against him. Properties may be seized. This might be that health event that we're talking about. It's going to lead Donald Trump to a health event that's going to be debilitating. And it's really going to undercut... It's going to undercut his intellect and bring his campaign to a close. And again, because of his rage and his emotions. So they're going to go after suburban women with this plan. But I don't think it comes to fruition because I think Donald Trump's health issues undermine it. Manafort and Stone and Lewandowski, they cannot do this on their own. They need the charismatic leader in the form of Donald Trump. None of this doesn't work for DeSantis. This doesn't work for Nikki Haley. This only works for Donald Trump. And if there's no Trump, this plan doesn't matter. But I think that's what their intentions are. And I think it just they may be targeting get things started, but if Trump doesn't have the health event, it's still not going to work out. But if he does have the health event, it's going to short circuit this whole plot, as it were. All right. Tell me a little bit more about this, about the outcome of their efforts. Just a little more explanation as the outcome of their efforts. Is this due to Trump's health? Is this due to their messaging not resonating with suburban women? What happens here? What's the Tower moment about? The eclipse. Changes, uncertainty, but that's an eclipse right there. Howling at the moon crazy. Impacting the emperor. As the Emperor Trump in this case? I mean, how many cards can you have representing Trump? Hang on for a second. Sorry, major sneeze. It doesn't make for a good tarot reading. Okay, the Emperor and the Moon card. Something happens at the eclipse or around the eclipse. Could infect Trump. Could impact Putin. Could impact, just the authoritarian way of doing things. Or it makes Trump seem less authoritarian. Underneath all is the Two of Wands. It's something happens at the eclipse to, say, the benefactor of this plan or the person championing this plan. That you're going to have to start planning for something else. Two of Wands is about planning. In the past is Justice card. Okay, now that federal trial was supposed to have started already. Or actually start on the 25th. It's today's 25th? No, today's 22nd. It's supposed to start on Monday. Now, there are going to be court cases going on Monday. It's just not jury selection. Oh, and of course, the other thing is that, on Monday, Letitia James gets to start seizing properties and taking stuff that belongs to Donald Trump. Now, on the positive side for Donald Trump, the Digital World Acquisition Group had a vote, and they voted to purchase Truth Social for some obscene amount of money. Now, they've got, it's going to take a month or so for them, or in a couple weeks or a month to complete the deal, but the investors have agreed to complete the deal. The stock is way overvalued right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens out of that. Trump stands to make a couple $2 billion if nothing changes. But that's not reality. Things will change. First off, he can't touch the money for 6 months. That's part of the SPAC. When the deal's approved, he can't sell his shares for 6 months. And that's standard for deals like this. because as is explained, you don't want the face of the company, say like Donald Trump or Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, to have this company get it bought out and then immediately liquidate their shares and leave. The investors like, but. Now, the investors can liquidate their shares and leave as long as they're not major investors. Donald Trump will own like 60% of this company. He's a major investor. But, folks, Trump supporters on Truth Social that bought the stock and maybe bought 10 shares or 100 shares or whatever that they bought, they can sell it. So there's going to be a lot of selling as people lock in the win here, as it were. There's also a lot of short sales that came on because people know the stock price is going to go down over the next 6 months. So short sale works by you purchase the stock. It's reverse. Instead of purchasing the stock at the price today and then selling it 6 months at the price 6 months from now, you're selling the stock today at whatever price it is, and 6 months within like the next 6 months, you're going to buy the stock that you just sold. It's like paying on margin almost. It's wonky how it works. But if you think the stock price is going to go down, you short the stock. And I know there's a lot of short interest on it. But long and short, court cases involving Donald Trump and eclipses and things along those lines. Not only court cases, but justice. Court cases and justice coming. We're asking a little bit more information on this. The 10 of Cups, happy endings. Things coming to a conclusion. Celebrations. Republican Party sometimes too. So what happens? They're asking what the like that tower, what that event is. Somewhere over the rainbow, things coming to a conclusion, emotional conclusion. Crossing the Rainbow Bridge. This could the health event could be something that is very life-threatening. I'll leave to you who might be the ones celebrating and dancing in the streets, but whatever that event is, it could very well be life-threatening. There we go. Overarching energy is the tower. So it's that sudden ending. I do see Melania hitting Trump with a divorce note during or after the 2016 election interference case involving Stormy Daniels, just because of Trump's behavior and just the public humiliation. Again, she doesn't love the guy, but she's very private, and all this private stuff is going to be out in the public. Yeah, major health implications on this. Debilitating type of thing. Here's Trump in the wheelchair while his kids are visiting and talking about him, and then the dogs he doesn't like sitting by, and the grandkids he can't name. Yeah, he hasn't taken care of his health over time, and there are health issues that run in his family. Now, for all the abuse he's put his body through, the guy's doing great for 77, but we've seen the mental decline going on here as well. So again, and you can see it happening more and more. It's like that downward intellectual spiral, and I think we have that major health event that comes over here, life-threatening. Maybe even has an NDE. Wouldn't that be amazing? Outcome is the Hanged Man. It would be really, really interesting for Donald Trump to see things from a different perspective. Maybe folks will see Donald Trump in a different perspective if he is convalescing and he doesn't have that authority and that vigor that his base craves. Hangman can also be a willing sacrifice. Trump's health fails him so that people see his fall from grace and they see him in an all new light and helps America move forward. But something is going to... We're back to the eclipse. We're back to the health thing. You know, something that all the intuitives are seeing, and it really does appear to be life-threatening. So we're all going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen, right? And I'm not doing it. I'm not saying that from a place of darkness. It's just if you keep getting sold on the hype, it's like QAnon, you know, that no, John F. Kennedy is going to come back from the dead. He's been hanging out with Elvis at a 7-Eleven. He's going to that Trump rally in Dallas. Come on down. Or, you know, all the election interference stuff. And, 2 weeks we're going to have groundbreaking news, and the Supreme Court's going to overrule Biden and send the Secret Service and the FBI to go arrest Hillary and all the Democrats and throw them in Guantanamo Bay. You know, all these wild predictions that that the QAnon folks put their hopes and dreams into, and then they never pan out. I'm not saying I would be disappointed if that happens, but there would be disappointment, because if nothing else, because of the hype that's built around it. Obviously, some people who don't want to see Donald Trump have a health event would be quite relieved if that were the case. And I'm not wishing a bad health event on him, but it keeps coming up. We will see what happens. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks who've just discovered this channel recently for the first time, welcome. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.